Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. So welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Bridget and I'm going to be doing a pick a card reading today. I'm really excited about this one. I feel really inspired and I'm filming on my camera, so it's going to be good audio. Woohoo! Alright, so I have 3 piles and each one has a rose quartz crystal. So I'd like you to pick one. You can pick more than one, of course. You have free will, do whatever you feel is right for you. But today's reading is going to be, I'm really excited about it actually. I feel like it's going to be really meaningful. So it's going to be kind of like, what are your soul gifts, your soul level gifts? Now, I've done readings about psychic gifts, spiritual sort of abilities already on this channel, and it's something that I really love doing. So today it's going to kind of be a similar theme. However, I feel like with soul gifts is sort of the core of who you are, and the core of who you are has stayed with you, or has stayed the same throughout many of your incarnations. And sometimes we can lose sight of the specialness of that, or the gift inherent within that, because it's always been who we are, or it's always been something we're good at, or, you know, sometimes we just forget that we're beautiful in our own way, you know? So I'm going to come in today and remind you of how beautiful you are at your soul level, okay? So group 1 starts at the left side of the screen, group 2 is in the middle, group 3 is at the right side, and then I'm going to see you in a few seconds for your reading, okay? Mwah, mwah. Bye! Okay, hello group 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose this rose quartz crystal, very nice one. Okay, so I have a lot of different cards. I'm using the Mother Peace Tarot deck, and then I am using these chakra cards that I made a little while ago, and I have one affirmation card for you. So we're going to start with the affirmation card. You got the dark one. This is interesting already. Okay, so it says, I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. And the first line is, I witness the darkness. So yeah, you, group 1, part of your soul gift is the ability to really understand what dark energy actually is, because darkness is not evil and darkness is not shadow either. Darkness is something entirely sacred unto itself, because it is the energy of creation. So anyway, I'm going to go more into this because you got the third eye chakra, you also got the solar plexus chakra and the root chakra. And I feel like this witnessing the darkness and calling on the light, and thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love, is part of your gift, because you have a very strong perception of what's really, really going on. And what I mean by that is like, you can see through deception, and you can see into true motives and intentions behind things, behind people's behaviors, choices, and the way that people show up and make their choices in life. And I feel for you that this can at times feel a little bit isolating, because maybe you're not quite sure how to communicate this in a way that can be received or heard. I'm hearing it's like you need to find some peace through being able to share your truth and share the unique way that you do perceive the world, in a way that doesn't feel alienating, because some people may find the way that you see things, they may find that it brings fear up for them. But again, this affirmation card is saying, thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. So I feel like that's part of your role, is that you're a teacher because of the incredible third eye abilities that you have, like really. So there's third eye abilities is intuition. It's more than intuition. It's so much more. Although intuition does stand because we have solar plexus chakra as well. Solar plexus chakra is that gut knowing, that gut feeling, or that core response that we can have to people, places, and things, and it kind of lets us know what our yes and our no is. So wow. So even the word perceive, so you are able to perceive things, events, people, choices, again, in a way that is based through the eyes of love. You perceive things through the eyes of love, therefore you can witness the truth and remain in your power. Now I feel like your challenge is, or has been, or will be, as you move more and more into your gifts and share them more and more with the world, because a gift is something you share, it's you give of your gift, right? And Spirit is asking you to share your incredible perception of world events currently, I'm hearing. Because you can do it in a way that will help people to shift from fear into love. Now, the way that you communicate what you see and the truth as you know it, or as you feel it, or as you experience it, or as you see it, is important. And it will, Spirit's saying it will be like a kind of like a skill that you have to strengthen. Because communication is... I mean, gosh, right? Like we're always learning to communicate, you know, and it's always sort of, we're always refining it, I feel. And I feel like as well, Spirit's saying, develop your own language with Spirit, with your higher self, with, I would say just with your higher self to start off with, and that's another way of saying with your soul, okay? So really going inwards or to your crown or whatever, to really have a communication style, a language of sorts with this core part of yourself, so that you can feel very anchored in your own ability to receive messages, because you have incredible powers of intuition, inner knowing, perception, discernment, all these things. Now, occasionally I feel like things will come and cloud your third eye, so you may experience you may experience the contrast of having really strong solar plexus and third eye chakras, which is the sort of shadow experiences of those chakras. So the shadow of the solar plexus chakra, the way that I read energy anyway, this is just me saying this, but the shadow of the solar plexus chakra is worry, it's fear, it's fear pretty much. And the shadow of the third eye is doubt and confusion. Now, if you have doubt and confusion arising in your experience, I would say you really need to sit down for a second and be like, okay, what's going on here? Because you don't have doubt. Like, okay, how do I communicate this? You don't have doubt. You know things. Now, the way that that can be translated into words, into the human experience, like through that third eye, that can generate confusion. Sure, it can, because sometimes we perceive things and we receive messages in such a personalized way that it's actually really hard to explain it to anybody. It can be when we try to explain, oh, this is what I picked up, or this was what I saw, or my message that I got. Some people won't get it, or they won't. It might make you feel confused or doubtful because it wasn't received or recognized or something like that. But there is this sort of confidence that you do have in your inner world, and Spirit's saying that's going to translate into your outer world, or it already is. 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 It really is. So there's a little message coming through as well to allow yourself to be different. You have strong innovative energy. You aren't meant to be very conforming in this life, or maybe not in any lives. And Spirit's saying don't hide your truth from the world, because when you have such a strong relationship with truth as you do, it's very challenging to find ways of communicating that, because there's a lot of deception in this world, but there's also a lot of illusion. And an illusion, the way that I'm talking about it now, is just like something that isn't really true, but maybe many people believe it to be, or you have believed it to be that it is true for a while. And so when an illusion kind of breaks and it dissolves and we see through it, right? Because an illusion is just smoke or a mirror. It's not really there, but we feel that it's there and we give it our energy, therefore it becomes more and more real. And the more people that believe in one illusion, the stronger that illusion becomes. And I'm telling you, we have illusions that are literally like propping up full like social structures at this point. So anyway, when you start to develop this clarity, this freedom in the way that you perceive what is true and what is not true, you may feel this sense of like, I want to rebel by just living in my own world, or I want to rebel by kind of being like, F you, but not really by showing anyone that, just having this inner judgment of the world. So just be careful of that, because it's really easy to fall into that when you have such strong third eye abilities. It can be this sense of like, sort of like disillusionment, on like feeling disappointed at the world. That's what I'm picking up for you. Sometimes you feel disappointed by the world, and Spirit's saying, share your gift. That's all you can do. You cannot change the world. You cannot heal everyone, but you can share truth as you see it and as you know it and as you experience it. Now, the other thing I'm picking up is that you're very community, because we have root chakra. You're very community based, which is awesome. However, I think that there's been this struggle or something with you in this life, and maybe throughout many lifetimes, around how do you balance belonging to community, finding value, meaning, and purpose from family and wider community, and staying authentically true to who you are, right? Because you have, like, I feel like some of you watching, I've told you this so many times now that I'm just like, oh. But you have incredible intuitive abilities, okay? Solar plexus and third eye, to me, they are the intuitive energy centers to me. The other ones are intuitive, but in different ways. These ones are just like straight up, boom, intuition. So you have a very different experience to the world than a lot of people will ever experience. And again, this is me reading who you are at soul level, okay? At your soul, meaning this is a gift or an ability, or yes, and at times a challenge that you have explored throughout many incarnations. Okay, so how do you stay true to who you are, share your authentic truth, even rebel against things that are established as normal and natural, and maybe you see it differently? And how do you do that in a way that doesn't alienate yourself to oblivion? Because I'm feeling for you community, relationships, feeling a sense of belonging, feeling a sense of identity within Earth is very important to you. So yes, let's look at your tarot cards. We have the Hierophant. That makes sense, because the root chakra can be quite traditional. It's quite traditional energy. Root chakra is family, it's home, it's, children, it's nature, it's gardening, it's I want to plant food and eat food from my garden. I want to have chickens, I want to, have babies and all these things, right? So, and it's like that natural kind of healing. I think you've been a plant, I want to say a medicine woman in a past life. So that may be that you, I'm just going to leave it at that. So, but the Hierophant, traditional. You have a traditional energy to you that is very grounded. The Hierophant is to do with Taurus. So there is this magnetism to you. You're very hardworking as well. So sometimes this can become a block in you expressing these other aspects of your nature, because I'm seeing the root chakra and the Hierophant for you is strong. It's a strong energy for you. So again, the Hierophant is tradition. It is institutions that are long-standing, such as marriage, the government, things like that. I mean, that is, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So interesting, because it's sort of a little bit paradoxal. You have a few you have these like dual sides of you, and to people, maybe they think like, how can you be both at once and you're just over there being both at once? It's quite profound. Okay, so you also have the 9 of Cups. So people fall in love with you a lot, and I think so. People see you as their wish come true. And I think at times maybe you're just like, well, look, can you just see me for who I am, rather than sort of what you wish that I am. Because I think that, again, people may maybe choose one side of you. They see this traditional side of you that's very family and love and nature and earth, and then they see this more third eye side of you, which is a bit more like boom boom fire, like spiritual ways of speaking, and connection with spirit realms, connection with the unseen. And maybe they choose just one, and then they're like, I like you, hello. So I feel like you might have a little bit of problems with people emotionally attaching to you, but you might not be able to attach very easily to other people. Okay, then we have the Magician. Very powerful divine masculine energy, the Magician. What am I feeling with this? We also have the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, so you have strong creation energy. That's what I'm feeling with this Magician. You're able to create a lot of your experience, and I feel like you are comfortable in the other side of creation, which is destruction. I think you have a balance in that, and that's why you're successful in your creations and in what you are manifesting or magnetizing to your experience. And the reason you're good is because you don't emotionally attach very easily at all. So if something doesn't work out, you can just walk away. You're very good at walking away and finding your fulfillment in other places. You don't get attached. You might be a bit of a wanderer, or you might have a very strong root in one place, in one particular land, like even a country or a city, or really strong roots, ancestry and such, that you're very rooted in. So you aren't searching to sort of put down roots in every person that you meet. Put down roots. But you know what I mean? Like, it's very interesting. You don't attach to people emotionally very often. It happens, but it's rare. And when you do, you are committed. Holy shit. You really commit. The 10 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands is like family, community, home. I mean, it's family. I was actually meant family for the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is family and sort of things that we build, like legacy, empire, things that we pass on to future generations. So it's like very strong, stable energy, and it's very much to do with family and abundance and, well, yeah. The 4 of Wands is home, marriage and union, community. Oh my God. And celebration. So if you do choose to commit to someone or emotionally attach to someone, like, you're there. You're just there. Like, you are so committed, and you're a very beautiful person to be in relationship with. You're very generous and fair and independent. You know, you have your own life and you have your own stuff going on. Now, I think at times you can attract people who want to be codependent with you and kind of latch onto you, and I don't think you like that very much. So part of your gift in this lifetime is actually about building community. You are innately an expert at building community. You may have had experiences in this life that were quite shocking in that they took you out of community, or your community broke down, or you had loss within community or of community. And I'm seeing like quite devastating things for some people. So Spirit's message about your gift of building community is that you do have natural leadership qualities. You do, and you are meant to be somewhat of a leader. You will leave a legacy in this life. It's going to be quite profound. Spirit's saying to rebuild or to build future community, or to, as you continue to build your life, right, to build on a very truthful foundation. Okay, I'm sorry I don't look at the camera very often, but when I'm channeling, I'm just like looking at messages all around. So if you have gone through loss recently and you are rebuilding, or inevitably, I guess we go through loss in life, things come and go and break down and regrow and everything else. But remember that when things come to an end, it's probably because there was an element of your truth that was not acknowledged or witnessed by yourself or others. So really, truth is the key to you feeling successful and happy in your relationships. All of them. I feel like you really need to feel 100% truthful, even if it's a bit blunt or a bit abrupt or a bit like, whoa, you're so honest, this is really intense. But this is part of how you feel nurtured in relationships, really. Okay, so what else are your gifts? Your gifts is also art. You're a natural artist, and you have a real sort of innate understanding of beauty. It's really beautiful. Like, you find the value in beauty, and you see beauty in the world, and you help others to see beauty again if they've forgotten it. Again, you're a natural at building community, and you are meant to build community in this life. I feel like you're also a natural environmentalist, potentially, eating vegan or vegetarian, or wishing to live more sustainably or grow your own food and things like that. I feel like for you, something that's very healing is having like your hands in the earth, in the dirt, like planting or weeding or having your bare feet on the ground as well. Very, very grounding for you. Nature will nurture you. Nature will nurture you, and beauty will as well. Okay, so you also have a very fair mind. You can stay quite neutral. If people come to you, you can see both sides of things, and people appreciate that, because even though we love to have someone who's on our side no matter what, and they're just like, F that person, you're in the right. Like, actually a lot of the time what we need is someone who can be more neutral, right? Because maybe we're talking about someone we really care about, but we've just had an argument with them. You know, we don't want our friend or our loved one to like trash talk the person that we're in an argument with, just because they're very protective of us. You know, that can make it feel quite uncomfortable. So you're very good at holding a very neutral space where you don't judge, and you really acknowledge and honor both sides of things, and you do not feed into drama. You are a very peace-loving person, and you stay very grounded in what is true, okay? And you have a very core and innate sense of what is fair, just, and right. And if things go against that, you will speak up about it. You will. If you haven't, or if you don't, it probably doesn't feel very good. You are meant to speak up about it, because you have an inner warrior that is very much based in truth. You have an inner warrior that is based in truth. You are a warrior for truth. Again, leadership is your destiny. However, it doesn't have to be you don't have to be entirely visible. You can be a leader in ways that are a little bit more to the side, and maybe other people have more spotlight, but you have this integrity in the way that you live, and people see it and they want to live like you. Not necessarily exactly the way you live, because maybe, you know, you're a vegan and other people, they might not want to be vegan, but they will be inspired to try out some more vegetarian meals, you know, every week. So there's something about the way that you live and the conviction and the integrity that you bring to your choices that is very inspirational for others, and people really like to look up to you. And because you're not in their face about it, you're not like, you have to do this, like, rah, rah, rah. You're just like quiet, and you live and you do your thing, and you make your choices, and you live by your beliefs, and people observe that and they're like, wow, that's amazing. Yes. I do feel like you're meant to have children in this lifetime. Of course, if that's not for you, that's not for you. Don't worry about it. Just don't take that on. But for a lot of you watching, you are meant to have children in this lifetime. You may, of course, already have children in this lifetime. That's beautiful. Your children will be very important to your soul's growth and to what you are giving to the world. Part of it is your children, okay? So the way that you raise your children, it might be a bit different, or you just have very special children, you know, children who are very high vibrational. For a lot of you, I'm seeing that. So they're little spiritual teachers in these tiny little bodies, you know. A lot of kids I've seen recently who are like amazing. Their energy and their frequencies are just like off the charts, and they're just in these tiny little bodies. So I'm also feeling like you can like reach children in ways that other people will miss children, or you can see or meet children where they are in a way that you can honor their wisdom and learn from them. And that's very beautiful, and that's a gift. And you show others how to do that too by the way that you can connect and relate to children. It's very, very gifted. It's very special. You also have a natural affinity with animals. I think you're a natural animal healer. As in, I'm not saying that you don't have other healing abilities. I think that you probably are an amazing channel with that third eye gift. But you're very practical. So if you do healing, it's probably in very practical ways. It's like, okay, well, how is this actually serving you? Rather than just, you know, sometimes when we have strong third eye gifts, we can kind of like let the third eye take us up into these, you know, other dimensions or these other realms. And the information can kind of become a little bit like, what is going on here? Like, it can kind of lose its meaning to everybody else, because third eye, it kind of like what I was saying at the start of this reading, like third eye gifts, they develop their own language with you. Okay, they're very specific to you. Third eye is like speaking directly to your soul. So if we try, or if we find ourselves speaking directly from our third eye, people probably won't like it very much. They probably won't resonate, or they might just be like, you're a bit wacky, I'm really not following this, because we need to ground it down into, at least into our heart, okay? At least ground it into the heart, filter it through the heart. Or for you, I feel like you really bring it down into that root chakra, practical, you know, the solar plexus as well, that power, that warrior, like, how is this serving me? How can I take action on this vision, you know? So it's very beautiful. You have a very beautiful balance between, you know, sort of this, like I said, that you have these two sides to you, like a sun and moon. You know, like you might have your, like, for me, I have my moon in Leo, which is like the moon. My moon sign is in the sign of the sun, because Leo, the sun rules Leo. So there's this sort of contrast or paradox within your energy that is very intriguing and mysterious, but at times may frustrate you. But ultimately it is a gift, because you can do both. You can do both. You know, a lot of people, they're just one or the other, but you can do both. Woo! Okay. So yes, you're meant to be a teacher, Spirit just told me. You are meant to be a teacher of love. You're probably already doing that. It's not even like Spirit, it's not even saying you have to do it in any official way, but I think there's a part of your soul that will feel good from doing it in a sort of official way, even if it is, again, just like being really respected in your family, or being really respected in a friendship group or a community, or, you know, finding friends that do the same healing work as you do, or whatever it is for you. Really important. So Spirit's saying you have really amazing abilities to grow ideas. Now, you might be quite good at starting ideas, and then you don't like finishing them that much. And that's okay. Like, as in, just knowing that about yourself can start to shift that experience, because if you're really good at coming up with ideas, and you're really good at planting the seeds and getting other people inspired so they follow your path or they follow your project or whatever, then that's a gift, that's a skill that you have. But maybe it's about recognizing, you know what, I'm really good at this part of the project, but at this end of the project, not so much me. I'll get other people to take on those roles. So there's something a little bit about like clicking into place of like acknowledging who the heck you are and working with that, rather than trying to change who the heck you are, because if you try to change yourself, you're going to move further and further away from your soul energy, which will create separation from source spirit, which is life force energy, and therefore you will feel depleted and not quite yourself. Okay? Okay, so that's all that I have for you, group 1. I really hope that you resonated, and yeah, I'll see you next time, okay? Bye! Hey, group 2. I can already tell you're going to be a really fun group, okay? So you chose this little rose quartz. I have one affirmation card for you, then I'm using the Mother Peace Tarot, and then I've got these chakra cards. So you got the sacral chakra, which is how I know that you're very much fun. Wow, okay, then we have the throat chakra, and then the earth star chakra, which I've written natural healer, and especially healing through your hands, through body. You might be a natural like massage therapist or Reiki healer. You have this natural healing gift, and you're very grounded within it. I also feel like you're a natural channel for spirit. However, it's unique. It's a unique channel because you have this earth star energy to your energy body, and you have this strong sacral chakra energy, which is all about embodiment and the physicality of the experience of life, of living, of being alive. So I feel like joy is meant to be your teacher in this lifetime. Joy and being in joy, because you are all about embodiment and sort of using your creative energy, your sexual energy, to feel quite alive and aligned, and to inspire others to live authentically and originally. So let's see what your affirmation card is. You have, when I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. Yeah, and that's what I was sort of picking up with the aligned thing. If you're aligned, you are unstoppable, because you are so present in the moment, and you are so magnetic and attractive because you have this very strong sacral chakra energy, right? And it's all about having fun and being creative and dancing. And it's just like, you know, that kind of like when you see a kid, and I mean, it's not just kids, like adults do this as well, but if they like take a bite of something and then they just do like a little happy dance because it was so tasty, that's kind of like the joy that you bring to this world. It's a little bit childlike in the innocence of it, but then it's also not that, it's not childlike in other ways, because it's actually quite sexual, to be honest. So I think you have this natural sexuality to you. Look, not everyone who has this gift with the sacral chakra energy and that sexual energy is 100% comfortable with it, because unfortunately, in my experience of reading people who have very strong sacral chakra energies, is that they can attract to them because of this sexual magnetism that they just have at soul level, right? It's not anything about what you do or what you wear or who you are, nothing like that. It's just who you are at soul level. It's a magnetism through the energy through which your soul is built with. You can attract unwanted attention. And it can be confusing because people may project onto you like, well, this is your fault. You wanted that, like whatever. It's all manipulation. It's not true. But when you're younger and more naive, it can be very challenging to navigate having such strong sexual energy. Really, it can. So I feel like as well, you might have trouble sometimes with communication because you are a natural channel for spirit, but like I said, it's unique. It's not mental. It's not a mental understanding. It's not a thought-based experience that you have. It's like a very deep processing of learning, of teaching, of knowledge. And I think sometimes you may be silent, or you may not quite have the words for things because you're so in your feeling of it. You're so in the feeling of it that finding words to communicate or to express that can be limiting. So you're also a natural healer, like I said, through your hands. Your hands are very powerful through physical touch. I think you can heal people through physical touch, just through your presence and reminding people about the sunshiny side of life, how to have fun, how to be in the moment, you know. And there we are. You are very peaceful, okay, but it's a unique peace. So how would I describe your peace? It's a peace through the mindlessness of everything, because it's not that you're mindless, but when you're really, really at peace, there's no thoughts in your head. You're just completely in the embodiment of your experience. Now, I think you feel very deeply, and I think at times you don't like that. At times you don't like how deeply that you feel. Spirit's coming in to remind you that part of your gift that you offer this world is your ability to feel things very, very deeply, okay? Okay, so also I just want to say, sometimes I look around the room when I'm channeling and I don't look right at you in the camera. That's just the way that I channel. So don't be put off by it if I'm looking over here. Okay, so let's see what tarot cards you got. Of course, the Devil. Okay, so you might have Capricorn energy. I definitely think you're hardworking and ambitious in your own way, like as in maybe you want to be quite famous or something creatively. For some of you that's true, some of you it's not. But the Devil, okay, so again, this is sexual energy to me. This is what it's showing up as. And the other aspect of it, I mean, I don't really okay, so what Spirit's saying to me, and okay, I'm like, I don't want to say it, Spirit, but she's like, you have to say it. That's how Spirit works with me. She doesn't give me messages. I don't get to choose what I say. Spirit gives me a message. If I don't say it, she doesn't give me any other messages. So this is where we're going. All right, so the devil. Look, there is a tendency you may have to overindulge on life's pleasures, okay? Chocolate, wine, whatever other things that you can do that might lead to addictions or patterns of not feeling 100% empowered. But I also think that you are someone who can indulge more than the average person, and what might be an addiction or something or a compulsion to others is just you exploring what this physical plane has to offer and finding joy from it. So Spirit's saying not to judge yourself or have shame for the joy and the pleasure that you take in the physical experience, because it's part of your gift, and the more that you allow that to happen, the more that you step away from the mind, from the intellectual side of things. You may be a little bit of an intellect at times, but it goes against this core essence of your being, which is so about embodiment and about the presence of the moment and the spontaneity of that, the freedom of the presence of the moment. I think as well, physical activity is very important to you. I'm not going to say that one. That one's inappropriate. Okay, the Tower. Okay, so how much more sexual energy can you have? Goodness gracious me. This is crazy. So the Tower is like Mars energy, okay? The Devil's, like I said, it's Capricorn. There's an interesting energy to the Devil because it does have a lot of sexual energy, but there's a power to the Devil card as well. It's not all evil or bad. It depends on the reading, the way it comes out. You know, every card is interpreted differently based on the energy of the reading, right? And the intention in which I pulled these cards. So you're definitely not a devil or anything like that, but you might be quite comfortable in themes of the underworld. Let's have a look at your other cards. Death. Okay, that's so interesting because I was just thinking you may be a medium and have this sort of like relationship with death or with the dead, with deceased spirits, with what happens in the afterlife, or you might have quite a strong connection to sort of mythology to do with death or the afterlife, and it's very beautiful. Like, it's a very balanced part of you. You're not afraid of things like of things to do with death. Now, death is big, like it's a big word, and it means a lot of things, but you're not afraid to transform. In fact, you're constantly transforming, and that is you in your flow state. That's your peace. Peace for you is flow, being in that flow state. Like athletes talk about it when they do running for long periods of time, and you know, I'm sure you've experienced it many times of whatever creative outlet that you have. Maybe it's dancing and you can get into a flow and you're dancing for hours and you're on, you know, a natural high, or maybe you are a runner, or maybe you're a painter and you can just sit in your studio for like 6 hours and paint this beautiful oil painting, you know? So there's something about the flow of the moment that is very peaceful to you. You're also very good at letting things go. You're just like, okay, that's over now. Goodbye. The Sun. Very truthful. People love you because they don't feel like you're hiding anything from them. And it's not like you can't have your own sort of secrets, but I also think you wear your shadow on your sleeve. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You don't try to hide the parts of yourself that maybe other people might be ashamed of, right? You're like, well, this is part of me too, so who the heck cares? This is part of it too. And the Hanged One. Okay, so you're very connected to dream space. You're very intuitive. I feel like you'll get a lot of messages through your dreams. Now, again, it will be messages through feeling, through the way you feel. And I'm talking about emotional feelings, joy as well as grief and things like that. You'll get a lot of messages through your emotional experience of this world. I'm also talking about feelings like someone walks in and you have a weird tummy cramp and you're like, oh, that doesn't feel right. And you must listen. You must listen to that, because your body is like a fine-tuned instrument for you. Like, not for everyone, but for you. Your body is a fine-tuned instrument that speaks to you in very subtle ways through physical sensation and through emotional experience. These are messages. This is a language you are you are speaking with yourself, a language you are speaking with yourself, okay? The Sun card again is telling me that you do have a childlike innocence to you. And maybe that can be confusing for people because you also have a sexual energy that is undeniable, okay? Okay, this is what I'm picking up with the throat chakra because it's different to how I would usually read throat chakra gifts. And the way that it's different is that I don't feel like these messages come into your brain and then you're all like, oh, I need to like talk about this idea. I just saw it this way and rah, rah, rah. It's like it comes to you through very subtle ways, like through your dream space, and you just wake up from a dream and you're like, I feel like this today, or I feel like this about this person now. It's very through your feelings and through kind of like you're very good at feeling what other people are feeling, probably to the point where it's like you don't like it sometimes. You're like, oh, stop. The classic empath kind of thing. You probably have that happen or have had that happen without you really wanting it to happen, if you know what I mean. Like it just happens. But again, it's part of your psychic gifts is that you feel things. And very important that you listen to it and that you allow the messages to change your experience, because if you get stagnant, it doesn't feel good for you. It's not right. It doesn't feel right. And the reason you would ever create stagnancy in your experience is because you didn't listen to some subtle thing that was telling you the truth about something, someone, or whatever it was. Because you're very truthful, so sometimes maybe you misjudge people because you expect them to be as authentic as you are being. But you're a very special soul, okay? You are. And the way that you express your creativity is very powerful. It might not be in your face powerful, but it's powerful. And the way that you connect with your artistry and the way that you share your art and your creative energy in this world is very, very magnetizing. It's powerful and it's magnetic. And you attract people who can be jealous of you. And even if you're sitting there and you're like, no one would be jealous of me, well, yes, they would, because even if it's not for things that you might yourself be jealous of others for or whatever, it's jealous. They can be, people can be jealous of the energy that you are, the energy that you actually are, and the way that you can create so quickly and destroy so quickly. You can let go really fast. Death, just boom, time to transform, time to move cities, time to move countries. You need change, you need flow, you need constant movement and travel and diversity, and you need to meet new people and you need to know new people and you need to experience new experiences on the physical plane. And so you're very fast paced in a way. Although there are some slower energies here too. But if change happens, it can come like lightning for you because we have the tower. Okay, the other thing I'm seeing is that actually you offer people tower moments and it's part of your gift. Now, sometimes it's not always easy to be the tower in someone else's life. Not that you ever are the tower, because a tower moment happens for anybody when something wasn't built on truth. It wasn't built on the foundation of truth, or because you have outgrown what that foundation was originally. Okay, so maybe it was originally built on truth, but now you've outgrown that, so it's not truthful to you anymore, therefore the tower has to come down and you can rebuild. So you can instigate tower moments for people and you don't have to even lift a finger, like just your energy can flip people into a new reality. It's powerful and it's magnetic. It's very magnetic. Yeah, it's very magnetic. It's very bright as well. You have very bright energy. It's very bright, like visually people probably remark on like, oh, you're glowing or you're radiant or like you're a ray of sunshine on my day, that kind of thing. But you have this dark energy to you too. It's very nice, actually. You have this real dark energy. I can see you sort of like stopping and like talking to animals or talking to snakes or having relationships with like spirits that no one else can see, or maybe you did that as a kid, or you're a medium, so you're very sort of emotionally connected to people. I see you're very emotionally connected to people regardless of if you're a medium or not. I'm not saying you want to be. I actually would suggest potentially not being 100% open to mediumship gifts, because the world of the deceased spirits, it's can be very, very murky. That's all I'm going to say for now. Okay, so yeah, you shed a lot of skins. You let go like, it's like you have many lifetimes within one life. You really do. Whoa. So I also see that you're someone who's very popular. People want to be around you. You have a natural confidence, and you might not see that in yourself because it's how you've always been, but you have a confidence, and the way that it comes through is that you have a confidence to do what is right. You have a confidence to do what is right. Even if it's not easy, even if you're not the loudest person in the room, you will say something that is needed to say. Like, you will say, you know what, that's actually, like, if someone's ganging up on someone, you'll step in. You have a natural ability to tell the truth, and you have this natural ability for people to really listen and respect you. People are very attracted to you. It doesn't matter who they are, and I'm not even talking about sexual. It's like the energy is sexual in nature, but it's not... It's when it is interpreted as being purely sexual rather than sexual from a place of creative sacral chakra beauty, like this magnetism that all of us have, that you have as a gift, right? So it's bigger than others. That can lead you to feel restricted or objectified and things like that. But actually, you just have this natural attraction to you, and people want to be around you. People want your attention. People want your respect. People want your advice. People want your attention, mainly. And they might not even know why. They're just like, wow, this person, I just need to know them. I need to be in their aura. I need them to look at this project of mine and tell me that it's good. Like, people respect your opinion, and you're a natural artist. It's probably like just who you are, the way you live. It's just beautiful. I'm seeing a lot of people around you, okay? Except... there are times where I think you need to recharge in solitude. Totally. You need to recharge in solitude at times. However, I'm seeing that you're a very social person. You're very socially active, and you're a social butterfly. And again, this is part of your charm, because you're like the person in town that everyone knows. Seriously. You're like the person who you walk down the street with, and then it's like every second person is like, oh my God, hi, I haven't seen you in ages. Like, mwah, mwah. And everyone like that's with you is just like, I'm so awkward right now. Nobody knows me. And then you're just there like, oh, hi, hon. Like, wow. It's like, it's gorgeous. It's like a celebrity energy. Like, you could be a celebrity in this life for sure. If you want to be. I mean, I'm not sure if everyone, I don't know if everyone wants to be, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a celebrity, even if it's just in your own town, because you walk down the street and people know who you are, or they want to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? All right, so what else about this throat chakra? Yeah, I think you're probably very embodied. Again, there's something about the way that your body is, it translates into the way that your mind is. So it's like if you have quite flexible body, you do, you know, calisthenics, I'm hearing, or yoga, then you have this flexibility in the way that you see things, and you don't judge things. Like, if someone's telling you how they see something, you kind of just like take it. You just imagine that that's what is true for a while, and you're like, wow, you know, that's amazing. So you offer people the benefit of the doubt as well, and you're very flexible in your mind and your body. So, and in your spirit, you know, in your spirit, you hold space for people in a non-judgmental way where you're like, express yourself, do it, just do it. I want to hear it, I want to see it, I want to love it, you know? It's great. So you have an intuition, like I said, but it's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's an inner knowing, an inner feeling. It's the clairsentience, the claircognizance. It's the, like, you might, like I keep wanting to say, you might get messages through a headache, like a head pain or a stomach ache or a nausea, or you might get messages through feeling... oh, like good things, like all of a sudden you have butterflies in your tummy and like, what's going on? Who is around me? Da 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 da. Expression, play, creativity, authenticity, embodiment, activity, physical movement, very good for you. You're also very emotionally intelligent, like way more than the average person. I think this is another reason people are attracted to you and they want your attention, because you offer this sort of inherent compassion, but it's more than compassion because you're like there with them. Like you tune into someone's energy and you're like, I'm here with you. Like, here we are. Let's explore this thing. So that's all I'm really going to say for you, group 2. And I really hope that you manage to sort of feel the gifts inherent in your energy. And again, I know that sometimes when we hear our soul gifts, we're just like, yeah, but that's just who I am. And it's like, yeah, but that's who you are. And no one else is like that. Or at least in the way that you're like this, no one else is like that. And it's a gift to the world. I mean, golly gosh, you are a gift in so many ways. So I really hope that has resonated and has helped you remember some beautiful thing about yourself that maybe you had forgotten, or maybe you just like to hear from somebody else. All right, much love, group 2. Mwah. Hey, group 3, welcome to your reading. So I have this affirmation card. I have some tarot cards from the Mother Peace Tarot deck, and I have these 3 chakra cards. So part of your soul gifts is in these energies that you have that sort of creates your soul energy. Okay, so you have crown chakra, you have heart chakra. This one was reversed, so maybe a little bit of some heartbreak happening right now or some pain there. And you have the soul star chakra, which is ancient wisdom, or at least it's a lot more than that, but for this reading, I wrote ancient wisdom for soul star. That's what I feel. So you have this ancient wisdom that comes through your soul star chakra, which sits above the head, different, I don't know, people say different levels. I don't know, I feel it around here for me, but everyone's different. Plus your heart. Yeah, you've got a beautiful heart, I can tell. And your crown. So this is very kind of like upper energy, very mystical, magical, mysterious potentially. I think you're a very beautiful, beautiful person to be in relationship with of all kinds. I think you're very based in love. You're very non-judgmental, and you offer people a healing energy just through your presence because you don't judge. So people probably open up to you and tell you things that they don't tell other people. People probably feel very safe with you. Okay. But do you always feel safe with others? Okay. Well, sorry, I just didn't remember this affirmation card that I have. It was given to me, but it says, the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. Wow, so you have very powerful abilities of manifestation, but it's different kinds of manifestation. I mean, I talk about manifestation and I'm hesitant to even talk about it because I believe in it in different ways. So I believe we have different energy centers that create our energy system, and different souls, like your soul, has different sort of strengths. And one of your strengths is that you manifest through your crown chakra. So the way that happens is that it's very fast. It's very fast and it's very powerful. You are a leader and things will show up for you quickly. Now, crown chakra to me as well, the way that I tune into it, it's also about the presence of the now. So when you are completely present and you're not really thinking about anything, or you're not planning anything, you're not thinking about the future or the past, you're just in your experience, this is when your prayers are answered. And this is why things can come to you very quickly, okay? The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. I mean, that's beautiful because it reminds me of a teaching that I learned sort of a few years ago around, we often don't actually know what it is that we need. Not even that what it is that we need, but what it is that our heart is truly desiring. And sometimes we have an idea, but we think that it needs to come in this form, or it needs to come through this person, right? Because they're right there. So it's like, it has to be from you. But there's something about letting go of control will be very powerful for you, because you have a strong heart yearning for certain experiences, and some of those experiences are love and feeling. Yeah. You're also very unique. Crown chakra is super unique people. You're also very much a leader, so you're probably a little bit, or at least, Okay, interesting. Crown and heart, very interesting, because crown is all about being very independent and kind of not really wanting to have to wait for other people. Like, you might find other people's pace can be quite annoying and frustrating because you want to get things done. And then they're sort of, in their own world doing their own thing. Whereas heart people are very patient and kind and understanding and forgiving and unconditional loving. So interesting. So you may find that you like to be a bit of a hermit. You like to be a bit alone because you like to do things in your own way, and you're very powerful in the way you do things. You can get things done and you can manifest very quickly, like I said. But there is this other part of you that just loves relationships, and you are really good at being in relationship. People really like being in relationship with you because you love people in a very unconditional way, and you offer them a healing space through your presence. So it's not even anything that you have to do in particular. You might not work as a healer, or some of you, I'm feeling, you do work as healers. But regardless of if you choose to work as a healer or not, you are a healer on this earth, definitely. You're a healer on this earth through the way that you do not judge people. And when we are in the presence of someone who's not judging us, it feels like freedom, and it feels like we can find our power again, and we can remember that the things that we may have thought about ourselves that are completely unlovable or just simply not okay, like we can reclaim that, and we can be like, oh yeah, actually I'm fine. I'm actually an okay person. Oh, that's good to know. So soul star chakra, ancient wisdom as well. I'm feeling for a lot of you, you might be very connected to light language and have this sort of, I'm seeing with this soul star, it's like this ancient wisdom, you're tuned into other dimensions, other frequencies, even other realms of existence and other realms of your own existence. That's how you tune in, because you can sort of find these threads from your other lifetimes, and you can bring them into this lifetime and share this wisdom that is probably well beyond your years. Or at least, it's a wisdom that is regardless of your life experience. It's deep, deep soul wisdom through your many, many incarnations. The moon. The crone, which is also the hermit. And I said hermit before, didn't I? So I feel like, there is this quietness to you, potentially. Or at least at times there is. Potentially you are quiet. I think at times you need to hermit away or isolate yourself because you are very sensitive to energy, and the world can become very intense for you sometimes because you're very, very psychically tuned to energy. Now, I feel you might have a strong Cancer placement because the moon is Cancer, and I just placed it on this Cancer because this, on Cancer in this wheel, because this tapestry is the zodiac wheel, so that's kind of funny. So I'm seeing this natural kind of, I thought that was a whale actually. It might be a whale, it might be, it might be a bird, but I feel like it's a whale. So again, I'm feeling this ancient energy to you. It's very ancient, deep, like the ocean, like a deep ocean energy, like a whale. And you kind of speak a different language. You know how whales speak with frequency. It's like you are here and you speak this different language. So there's something very magical that happens when you're on your own. No one's observing anything you're doing because you can be completely yourself. And there is this mystery to you. I think no one quite knows you, or at least you like to kind of keep people guessing. Maybe you even keep yourself guessing about who you are. You have a very strong divine feminine energy. You're very nurturing and loving and giving and nourishing. Like, again, people just feel nurtured by you. Like, oh, it's so nice. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. You may find that people kind of take advantage of that though, because heart chakra people can be like too unconditional with their loved ones because you're just really good at not judging people, and you're really good at compassion and opening the heart space and saying, okay, like I'll meet you where you're at kind of thing. But just be wary of that. Okay, the High Priestess. Goodness gracious me, yeah, you are definitely like High Priestess energy. You have really amazing intuitive abilities, like the moon, the crone, and the moon, the crone. the moon, the crone, and the high priestess, all incredibly feminine energies and incredibly mysterious, mystical feminine energies. Now, the crone is the hermit, which is Virgo. It has the energy of Virgo. I'm a Virgo. Hi. But Virgo energy is very, has natural understandings about healing, very much like a natural kind of wisdom around healing in very sort of practical ways. You're also very able to bring through psychic information, like you literally download it through your crown. However, you filter it through your heart, which makes it incredibly meaningful to those that you share it with. You teach from your heart, you speak from your heart, even with your wisdom, you bring it down through your heart and then you share it with the world. I love it. The Fool. Okay, so you're also not afraid to be really unique. Be yourself. Crown chakra, again, it's about being very unique, an individual, taking risks, putting things out there because it's who you are, you know, not hiding who you are. There's certain elements of you that is very mysterious and secret or hidden or in darkness, or you like to go away for periods of time on your own and then come back. But there's this energy in you that's continuously recycling, like you like shed a skin and then you're renewed, and then you shed a skin and you're renewed. Like you just continuously chase the next level of your experience, and it's really cool. You're very like self-motivated. You're very committed to your life path and to your sharing your gifts. That's how I feel your energy. You're very committed to sharing your gifts. I'm sorry. I need to get some water. Sorry for the interruption, group 3. I just had a little coughing fit thing come into my throat chakra. Yeah. So we'll see if any messages want to come through about that, but I'm not really bothered by it at this point. Just, I don't know. Let it go. So I feel that you have quite maternal or paternal energy. Like people feel very taken care of around you. They feel nurtured by you. You're very nourishing, and like you have the care for people that is very parental. It's very beautiful. Let's see what your final tarot card is. Judgment. Okay. Again, this message around you're very committed to your life path in this lifetime. You're very committed to sharing your gifts in a way that will help the most amount of people. There is a very so judgment is to do with Pluto, the planet Pluto, because I like reading tarot with astrology. It's just personally how I like to read. And judgment holds the energy of Pluto. Now, Pluto is a tiny little planet. I mean, actually, it's called a dwarf planet now. It's not considered a planet. Big shame. But Pluto has a very intense energy to it, okay? It's little, but it's the most intense planet. And in ways, it's really, really powerful because it brings about kind of absolute transformation, right? So in astrology, we talk about a planet transiting a house, you know, like this, going through, like Pluto enters your 5th house and then doop, da doop, da doo. Here it's going along here, da 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 da. So within that time frame of Pluto going through one of your astrological houses, if you don't understand what a house is in astrology, don't worry about it. It just means that it's like it sort of represents like a section of the pie, which represents part of your, like it represents a certain thing, like the 5th house is creative energy, for example, in one word, okay? To downsize what the 5th house is, creative energy. So when Pluto goes through one of our houses, it kind of just demolishes everything. Like it just clears the slate, just knock everything down, we'll rebuild from here, right? So it's deep transformation, life-changing. You are life-changing to people, and it's beautiful because it's like you have this energy that's like Pluto. You also might have Scorpio energy in your chart. You could have, I think you have a lot of water energy actually, maybe some Aquarius, a little bit of Virgo, but maybe some Capricorn as well. Definitely Cancer, I'm seeing. Ooh, Ooh, honey. Anyway, take what resonates, doesn't matter. Taurus for some. Okay, enough about the signs, it doesn't matter. But you might be small, or you might be a little bit quiet or something, but you come into people's lives and you just like, boom, initiate this intense transformation. And again, it's in this very gentle way, right? You have this gentleness to your power that is very, it takes people by surprise. You know, they're not anticipating it, and yet you come in and you're just doing your thing, or you're doing your healing work, or whatever you're doing, and then people just end up getting knocked over by it. Seriously, like you leave people being like, ooh, all right, I better, go fix this thing, because goodness me, you're very powerful, and it's deep, and it's core. It's like a core energy. It's like the energy of lava. You know, like lava from a volcano, how it bubbles up and it's so intense and destructive, right? But if it's used in the right way, it creates entire new landscapes, entire new worlds. So yeah, I think that you are actually here to explore what life has to offer. You're a bit of an adventurous spirit. You're a bit of an explorer. I feel like you might come from different galaxies, and you're here on Earth and you're just exploring this experience. Your intuition is ancient. That's a lyric from this song that I love. It's called All Bad. And it features Mariba, and she has this verse on it, and she's like, boy, this intuition ancient. And I feel like that's you. You're just there with this ancient intuition, and you're just like, like, I do kind of get this, I get the full thing from you. I get the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And again, it doesn't matter, I mean, I haven't said this yet, so it's not again, but it doesn't matter what your gender is, anything like that, but you have this divine feminine gift within you. Like, it's very feminine in that it is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. You have that maternal energy. You have that maiden energy in the way that you explore new territories. Like the fool just jumps into anything. He doesn't know what he's getting, but he has a brave spirit that is willing to challenge itself, and is willing to try new things, and is willing to grow and expand into the greatest possible version of yourself, right? So you have this maiden energy, in that you have this innocence that you have sort of maintained against all odds, because I see you've been through a lot in your life, but you've maintained an innocence to keep being open to trying new things, to keep being open to change and to expansion and to exploring things and adventuring into new lands. You also have this crone energy, which is kind of this ancient wisdom, is where I'm picking it up from, this crone ancient wisdom. It's like the crone is like the, it's kind of like the witch, but from a very, look, there are different ways that people identify with witch, but Google crone. I don't know what you'll find, but that came to mind, so Google it. And then, yeah, you have this mother energy too, with the high priestess and the moon. And you know what else? This is actually a really beautiful message that I'm getting, is that part of your gift that you give to the world is sometimes through your silence, or it's through you not saying things, because the high priestess knows things, but she doesn't necessarily say what she knows, because there's a deep wisdom to that, right? Because sometimes we know things that we're not meant to know, or we know things before a loved one is ready to know it. And so sometimes not saying something is actually the wise thing to do. Now, you also heal people through your voice. I believe you're a channel for light language. I feel like I've already said that. Maybe I haven't, but okay. I do feel that for you. Your energy is very balanced in that you bring everything through your heart. You filter everything through your heart, and the heart is inherently the balancing point in our chakra system. So you bring everything back into balance. You might sometimes go a bit out of balance because you have these cycles. Like I said, it's almost like you go through in your life these cycles. Did I say that? Oh dear. Sometimes the other groups blend in. I apologize if that has happened. But I feel like you go through these cycles of maiden, mother, crone. And what is that? Well, the maiden is like the fool energy, right? So it's this new beginning. It's looking at the world with fresh eyes and seeing the beauty of the world and being in awe of the beauty and being in wonder about, wow, the mystery and the majesty of life, just like a child seeing the world through the child's eyes, right? And then there's the mother, which is when we're ready to kind of give birth to our own creation. And again, I think a lot of you guys might be parents of some kind, but anyway, you have this energy where you can give birth to things. Then the crone is allowing for that thing to kind of come to a natural end. The crone is like the waning moon cycle, okay? So again, you got the moon. You might be very connected to the moon. The full or the maiden is like the new moon. It's like the start. It's like the birth of light. Everything is possible. Everything's going to grow. The mother is the full moon. She's pregnant, sitting there, big belly, full of life. And then the crone is the waning moon. It's when the moon goes from being full to being dark, being completely black again. And you have all of this in you. Like, so it's so beautiful and it's so balanced. And I believe that you will cycle through very organically, very organic cycles. And it's the way that you explore the ancient wisdom that you have inside of you. And it's the way that you accumulate more wisdom. Okay, so Spirit's message she wants me to remind you is about the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. Now, what's standing out to me on this card is think. To think, because you're not meant to be very thinky. You're not meant to be a thinker. You're meant to be a feeler, an intuitive. You're meant to be a mystic, a psychic. You're meant to receive messages through symbols, through dreams, through animal messengers. So to think too much will block your prayers. Just like this card is saying, the key to prayer is to forget, to let go of what it is that I think that I need, okay? So you have an ancient wisdom that you can bring through for yourself as well, right? Yeah, of course. I think that with this heart, you give so much. You're so generous. You give as much as you possibly can. You really give. You give. You give. You give. But you give like the way that a mother would give to their child, but you give like that to everyone. And again, it's a beautiful thing. But I do have to say that I believe you're already doing this anyway. You will need to learn to be more conditional with people, because otherwise the wrong, there's no real wrong, but the kind of people who are like energy vampires and leeches will find you, and they may delay you from the work you're here to do in the world. So that is why a strong energetic boundaries is very important for you, because you can give so much without receiving very much back, because you're just very good at giving. Now, it's actually only fair and balanced, right? Filtering through the heart, what is balanced, what is fair, what is based in love, is that you receive as much as you give, or at least almost as much, okay? Because you have a lot to give to this earth in this incarnation right now. You really do. You have strong leadership qualities, very strong leadership qualities. You have very strong energy. You're incredibly powerful. Like, I just gotta say, you're really powerful, okay? So really, I'm like in awe of you, to be honest. Goodness. Spirit, what have I missed? I've missed something about the High Priestess, apparently. You might be a midwife or a doula, or like a death doula, or you would help people if you did ever want to do that. If you're kind of searching for a way of like how to bring your gifts into something practical, I think that might be... You're meant to be very, very feminine though. And again, doesn't matter what your gender is, it's just about the energy of you. This card is a little bit explicit, but it shows the Mother Peace deck talks about it. It's actually it shows a woman from a ceremony in Africa, and I can't remember where in Africa, and I can't remember the ceremony, and I believe that it's actually a pretty intense ceremony, but they decided to keep it in. I can't really say much else about that because I can't, but Google the High Priestess Mother piece deck if you want to know more. So there's something ceremonial. You're probably very good at witchcraft, spell work, ritual, healing, ceremony, intentional creation. Okay, so I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Remember to always do your witchcraft, your spell work, that kind of energy stuff, always for the greatest good of all. Because if you don't, you're going to get yourself into trouble, okay? If you try to be my friend Elle, she talks about grey magic. So there's white magic, which is very much what I align to. There's black magic, which is very real. Okay, it's real. I'm not saying it's powerful, but it's real. And then there's grey magic, which is somewhere a little bit in between. And now Elle's beautiful because she doesn't judge anyone for it. And I don't either. I just am feeling a very strong message to come through of be wary of grey magic. If you're doing black magic, then I don't even know. I can't even say anything about that. That's just a whole other level of why would you want to harm anyone? I don't get it. But that's not my business. So if you feel like there can be some... basically what the message is, okay? Grey magic, okay? That's the kind of blurred line between what is good for the highest good and what is good just for you, right? Because black magic is like, I want to curse this person because they divorced me, right? It's like, that's not really fair on anybody. But to you, in your little egocentric bubble, that feels fair, okay? Because you're like, well, they left me so I can hurt them in revenge and rah. White magic is very much anchored in being what is the highest good for all people. Now, grey magic is a little bit blurry. It's a little bit bordering on infringing on people's free will, okay? And that's not something that's not something I believe in. Again, I can't tell you what to do because you're a sovereign being, but it's not something I would recommend that you do because you are very powerful, okay? You have a lot of power available to you and you will get results. All right, that's all I'm going to say. So be wary because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you are putting energy out there into the world, again, I'm not trying to say you're doing this, but I'm just saying you're powerful, so be careful. I even recently had to sort of set the intention that any angry thoughts that I had that were very violent towards anyone, that I would just neutralize them before they left my field and became anger spears that were directed at someone's energy. Okay, so anger spears are basically things that we can have sent to us or we can send to others that's based in anger or rage, and it's very violent in nature. Now, it's an energy, so the way that it shows up is not like a literal spear. The way that it shows up is that we feel like someone's angry at us. We feel their energy trying to impact us. So let's just clear all anger spears that may be present in every dimensional space of our being throughout all of time and existence. Thank you, Spirit. You're powerful, so be careful with that because with great power comes great responsibility. I'm serious. So if you're putting energy out there that's anger spears, you're going to have that come back at you in violent ways. I'm serious. Okay, so I might not be the best at articulating what I'm trying to say right now, okay? But what I'm saying is that you're very powerful and you must direct that power in a way that is aligned to who you really are at your soul level, okay? And you are someone who is very based on the highest good for all. I can feel it. I can feel it. Okay, so group 3, that was a little bit of an extra long reading, but you're a little bit of an extra special group, I just have to say that. So I really hope this has resonated and served you in some way today, I really do. Yeah, I don't know, people always say things at the end of readings like this video, share with a friend, subscribe to my channel, but I just figure you'll do that if you want to do it, and if you don't want to do it, you won't do it. So what am I gonna say, you know? Anyway, I'll see you real soon at the next reading. Mwah! Bye!